ist. Du mit Lächeln im Gesicht.
Nummer 2 und wir freuen uns ein weiteres Mal auf den Weltranglisten 11. Auf den Spieler, der 12 Turniere in seiner Karriere gewinnen konnte, unter anderem auch ein European Tour Event. Hey, Chizzy, Dave Chisnall! Dave Chisnall fordert den Weltranglisten-Ersten heraus, den Weltmeister von 2014, 2017 sowie 2019 MVG Mighty Mike Michael van Gerwen!
Nemesis of Michael van Gerwen has already booked his place in the final of the German Darts Open, and he might well be waiting to complete the hat-trick against MVG in Saarbrücken. A man who can't really be described as any kind of nemesis, any kind of threat to Michael van Gerwen in their recent meetings in recent years is Dave Chisnall, who's produced some good stuff this weekend, particularly in his win against Peter Wright this afternoon, and he's edged out Mensah Suljovic tonight in the quarter-finals. But matches between Michael van Gerwen and Dave Chisnall usually only end one way. I'm Chris Murphy, and Paul Nicholson is here with me to describe what usually would be a formality.
Well, in snooker terms, green's worth more than yellow. Chizzy's worth 2 points. Green's worth 3. So,
well, I think if Chizzy was getting 2 for 3 against MVG, he'd be very, very happy. But he's not getting anything like that return, is he?
Well, the number 2 is very apt because it is 22 losses in the last 23 games for Dave Chisnall against Michael van Gerwen. One solitary draw in there.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg is Michael to throw first. Game on.
The last time Dave Chisnall defeated Michael van Gerwen was on the 5th of February 2016, over 3 years ago in a UK Open qualifier in Wigan. It's been a very long time. They've played each other a lot. Obviously they will do. They're at the top of the game. All over the world they've played in finals in Gibraltar. They've played in the Perth Masters final. Numerous semi-finals and quarter-finals, but ultimately Michael's got the wood on Chizzy.
Well, you've told us what, Paul, but now earn your money and tell us why. Why is Michael van Gerwen so dominant against Dave Chisnall?
When you get a run against somebody, it becomes a mental thing.
140.
It was the same with Phil Taylor and a lot of other players.
Well, van Gerwen does to Chisnall, doesn't he, what Taylor used to do to Adrian Lewis. When they're in the practice room, they often practice together before playing each other. And I'm not sure, I think on occasion Phil would lull Adrian into a false sense of security and throw garbage on purpose, and sometimes he'd just beat him to death on the practice board.
Let's see what Michael can do with this shot here. And Dave Chisnall's got a very doable 130 here. This will be an excellent start.
Well, he's going to have to try and manoeuvre a way around that first dart. He's managed it for a dart at the bull.
89.
I think he needed to readjust on the hockey there. Van Gerwen needs a treble 18. Prime.
74.
Great opportunity for Chizzy. Michael couldn't take this leg in 15. He can take it in 14.
Early break for Dave Chisnall.
It's interesting what you were saying, Murph, about practicing in the practice room with your prospective opponent and who you feel comfortable with and things like that. In the past, I have spent a bit of time with Michael and practiced away. I remember at his first Grand Prix win, we spent a lot of time backstage doing things, and I was comfortable with it back then. But a year ago at this venue, he asked me for a practice, and about 10 minutes in, I wasn't comfortable with it. And I just said, I need to go and work on my own. You've got to have that mentality of saying to someone, you know what, I'm not into this. I've got to go and do my own stuff.
Yeah, you weren't comfortable because what? He was not missing and you were?
Sometimes you just can't put your finger on it.
Or the pace?
Neither of us were playing well in that little practice session, and I just felt that it wasn't conducive for both of us. But more so, I was just trying to think of my situation. Ultimately, it didn't work out for either of us because we didn't win the tournament.
I mean, I guess one way it would help practicing with the player that you're about to play is that the pace is going to be what they're going to produce on the stage.
It's very rare that you find someone practicing with the person they're about to play.
In the major events, until about a couple of years ago, everyone used to be in the same practice room. They do have divided practice rooms now, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Van Gerwen is very good at getting in and winding people up as well. He likes to announce his arrival. Is he about to announce his arrival in this match on double six? A 1-2-6 to break straight back.
That's got MVG written all over it. 3 bits of green. Chizzy's probably thinking, how come they haven't got a yellow bit for me?
59.
Well, there's a white bit, and he's waiting in the final for the winner of this match.
140.
Chisnall had done the hard bit by breaking in leg one, only to have it cancelled out in a flash of brilliance from the green machine.
He can't afford for that to become infectious. That scream of Van Gerwen cannot be ringing through his ears. What he's got to do is just got to believe in what he's doing. His action looks so much better in the semi-final than it did in the quarter-final. He was grafting against Sunovic. He looks so much more dangerous now. Looks more, and I know I've used this word a lot this week, looks organic.
Well, to hold on to his... Oh, another dart falls out of the board, although I'm not sure it's as costly for Dave Chisnall as it was for Rob Cross in the previous match. But MVG's just taken out 1-2-6. Might have needed that 1-6-4 to hang on to his throat.
Ooh, that was a good last dart, wasn't it?
I think the dart fell out of the 3 segment for Chisnall there, so that hasn't made any difference at all.
Well, this could make a difference. He's staying away from that dart. That's smart. Tops.
84.
Right call. Going for the 18 there was risky. But now Van Gerwen a hold. Gets tops. That's the difference between the confidence of having that streak against someone. You're taking those shots and he's not. Fine margins in darts can go a long way.
And Van Gerwen has been made to work hard. Well, he wasn't made to work hard against Dimitri Vandenberg in his first match, but he made it look like hard work. A 6-1 win and a match in which Van Gerwen admitted that neither player played anywhere near their, well, anywhere near the average game.
26.
But then, today, Van Gerwen has been taken to a last leg decider in matches against both Raymond van Barneveld and Nathan Aspinall, the latter missing a match dart against him.
That was game of the weekend for me. Had everything. And we've had almost everything in this tournament.
Well, yeah, it started with a 9-darter, didn't it, this event? Steve Beaton on Friday afternoon. Brendan Dolan ducked out with 105 average in that session, one of the best opening sessions of arrows we've ever had on the European Tour, if not the best.
I've got to say that this has been, today, the best quarter-final lot of matches that I've seen on the European Tour. I remember that quarter-final stage of the UK Open that Peter Wright won. That is arguably the greatest session of darts ever seen.
Yeah, well done.
190.
Mention that to Ian White if he's wandering past just before he's about to play a big final.
He's oblivious. He's just walked past us. He's full of beans. We'll leave him to it.
Van Gerwen had a go at this 1-2-5 earlier on and got the bull. He wants to put that right. Bull then missed the 25. Gets the bull again. And again.
Guide was way too good. Way too good. Left and right side of the flight was always going to catch the barrel. Chance. Needs to take this. Tops. That is massive in this game. Chisnall stays level. Talking about fine margins a leg ago. That could be very vital. He can't allow Van Gerwen to sprint.
Well, Paul, it's okay being wise after the event, I guess, but you like to talk about board management. Was it a mistake, Van Gerwen staying there?
No, I don't think so. I think it was prudent. It's a difficult shot.
Could have looked at treble 17.
He could have. You're more likely to hit a 25 than a treble 17. But with that lie, you're probably more likely to hit a bullseye than a 25. The thing about Michael's lie in the board, what he's really got to do, he's got to try and aim for the bottom of the 25.
140.
But he gave it a bit too much, and it just naturally nestles into the other dart.
Had he been on 150 for that shot, it would have been a certainty, wouldn't it, for him to plonk a third dart in there.
One day we'll see it. Well, Dave Pallett would have gone bull and single 18 to leave 32.
Well, the bull could come into play at the end of this combination, but he didn't need to go that route with Chisnall. Not on a finish.
This game's almost settled into who's going to have the most holds. 24 left.
180.
Inevitable. Double 10. That was inevitable as well. We are definitely going the distance today, aren't we? We are getting our money's worth.
A couple of things about Michael Van Gerwen that are different around this time this year than this time last year. One, I would say, is he's not doing as many exhibition shots as he was trying around there was one match on the Euro Tour against Peter Wright early last year where both players were just doing ridiculous things, almost visit after visit. But what has crept into his game, as Dan Dawson rightly pointed out a couple of times in the quarter-final, are miscounting. Now, he gets away with it because he's so good.
Nathan Aspinall is very aware, because he's been told by almost everybody on the way out of the building, there's another fall out of the board.
80.
He was told that on 3 occasions Van Gerwen went for the wrong segment on the board, but on every occasion he hit the big treble to leave the finish. That ultimately changed the game.
81.
And these days those slips will be punished if, you know, he's not going to hit the treble every single time when he makes those kind of mistakes.
96.
I don't think anybody in World Darts starts on 19s on so many different shots. He sees a 1 at the end. He wants to get that 171 to leave something doable afterwards. Well, Chizzy's very, very displeased with that dart.
Yeah, but there's no need to get too angry mid-visit there from Dave Chisnall.
That's a sign of where he is mentally when he plays against MVG, though.
See the difference there. Van Gerwen fired 1 in the 5 and just carried on and adjusted immediately. Plonked 2 in the treble 20.
Still a chance. Got to go 3 perfect. For 17 surely for double 18. Get in there, Dave Chisnall. Fantastic. That is a statement.
Yeah, well, he had the feel of hanging on in that leg, but hang on he did.
98.
And it looks as if MVG is going to be made to work hard again, if he is to set up the final meeting with Ian White. where he would hope to exact the ultimate revenge for those back-to-back defeats here in years 17 and 18.
60.
If Ian White was to win this tournament, we might have to rename the tournament and call it the Ian White Cup.
57.
I'm a big fan of the idea of these Euro Tour events potentially having someone named after it.
171.
There's another primary visit on that 19 section. Didn't really have to do that. He does love treble 19 though, doesn't he?
78.
Well, it has started happening in darts, hasn't it? And rightly so. Perhaps the three most iconic names in the sport all have trophies named after them.
Yeah.
100.
Rightly so. I think the PDC have been very careful with who they've named after what tournament. Blackpool, absolutely. Taylor's owned that.
100. Mike Lugois, 76.
Grand Slam, Eric Bristow, genius.
And of course the current holder of the Sid Waddell Trophy is Michael van Gerwen.
52.
Now, he needed an opportunity,
126.
did Chisnall. This is it. A 1-2-6 has been hit in this match by MVG. Can he do the same? On double six. Oh,
Yeah,
two of them in the match.
Dave
Chisnall's he's got the lead in a break. Does he believe enough? He's got stuff in the tank. He knows how to win these. This is a great game of darts.
Van Gerwen took out the 1-2-6 to cancel out the immediate break of throw in this match from Dave Chisnall. Chizzy has fired one right back at him to break in leg 7.
59.
What quality have we seen in this tournament?
Incredible stuff, and remarkable that on Saturday Michael van Gerwen averaged less than 90 and he just upped it and upped it and upped it. 100 against Barney, ended up at 107 against Nathan Aspinall, and he might need to be somewhere near that to continue that incredible run against Dave Chisnall.
I think he's going to need to up it by a few points because Dave looks like he's found his range. There's that odd 5.
Good timing there, Paul.
85.
They've got to get an odd number at some point. Might as well get it out of the way. Van Gerwen on 3-4-7. Will have been thinking 180 leaves 167. I can get this in 6. We have seen amazing darts from plus 300 in 6 in the last few weeks.
Well, Dave Chisnall has broken twice in this match, but he hasn't led it by more than a leg thus far. Has that time come?
Oh.
170.
Pressure with a capital P.
Surely Chisnall was expecting that. Now where does he go? 57.
He's gambling. Now where?
42. Just on the wrong side.
34.
That doesn't matter.
36.
Might be academic. Is 4-8. What a game. Van Gerwen's up to the task, and that 177 changed it completely.
Yeah, it really did, but it's got to be a frustration for Dave Chisnall that both times he's broken the green machine's throw, both times MVG has broken straight back.
Got a feel though, Murph, that those two small hits, the 5 and the treble 1, changed the doable shot that he needed at the end of the leg. So if he'd have got 2 20s, for instance, it would have been so much easier. Oh, compacted 180 from MVG. 5 180s in the match. Expect no more, that more will be hit.
46.
It is a seesaw affair, this one. Van Gerwen
98.
looking likely to hit the front again.
Well, even if Dave is going to lose this thing, he's got to keep showing that he's in the game with big scores. Just looking to straighten it up like he did earlier in the match. Exactly 104.
Well, now Chisnall needs to do exactly what MVG did to him in the previous leg.
15s are a 25 here, really. Yeah,
85.
I like that.
Mike Luke 60.
So then for 5-4, double 10. Yeah, last time he had 60 after a 104, he took it in 2. This time it's 3.
And he's 2 legs away from setting up that final clash with Ian Diamond White.
140.
How good was that 140 from Chisnall? Blocks the bed and he gets the 140 with half a bed to aim at.
140.
Toe to toe, nose to nose. Chisnall needs lots and lots of 140s, if not more,
100.
to give himself more opportunities. I'm surprised Michael didn't switch after that second dart, just lied flat. .261 each in this one, and Dave's got to look at 17s.
57.
Slip from MVG, so Chisnall
84.
will be looking for at least a ton 40 to leave himself handily placed. He'll be looking for more than that now.
Surely.
100.
That is majestic. So is this, mind. To leave double 3.
171.
Well, said he wasn't doing silly shots much this year, but perhaps it's just a sign that he thinks Dave Chisnall's going to take it, or is it a sign to try and put Dave Chisnall off?
I think it was. Might work. But it didn't!
James on the 10th leg, Dave Chisnall. Left leg is Michael to throw first. Game on.
Well, Ian White will be loving this, won't he? This pair could be going all the way.
108.
And that's a 180 to follow the 171.
I'll tell you who's loving this. Everybody who's watching at home and everybody who's sitting here in the Saarlandhalle in Saarbrücken.
96.
Any more, Michael? No, he can't follow it up. Yeah, White will be comfortably enjoying a practice and watching these two beat each other up, safe in the knowledge that not only did he beat Michael van Gerwen 6-2 here last year, but he also whitewashed Dave Chisnall in the previous round.
180.
He probably doesn't care how he plays, Ian White. He's so happy right now to be in the final. He'll have his earplugs in.
Mind you, he might want to look away from the screen if he is watching this in the background.
What, does he not want to know the score?
Van Gerwen's fired in 171, 180. Chisnall's just hammered in a maximum as well. And look what MVG's left.
You don't want to know the score, look away now.
140.
Well, the score that Michael van Gerwen wants to know is 126, and Dave Chisnall might want to look away. Bull.
101. Thank you, recorder.
Wow.
85.
This is massive. In a 1st to 7 match, Chisnall can break here in leg 11 with 85, 20, made sure. Oh, look at that. Passion from Chizzy. He's 1 hold away from knocking out the world #1.
The third break. The first 2 were cancelled out immediately, and you do not want to be going to a last leg decider with Michael van Gerwen because you will lose.
96.
Get it done now, Dave.
He said it like Ivan Drago, Murph. You will lose.
Well, he will.
99.
Well, the odds say that it's very likely.
Yeah, heavily stacked against Dave Chisnall. He's got a similar winless streak against Michael van Gerwen as Michael van Gerwen has got winning run in last leg deciders.
Absolutely. Good techers, Murph.
Can Chisnall produce some techers in this, what he hopes is the final leg?
I think that bullseye hurt van Gerwen a little bit, you know. Such a good shot. Can't let up. He looked down to the treble 19, then went back up for the 60. Uncertainty from Chisnall. 2 trebles needed to leave a finish. Gets there.
439.
And a message sent with a scream.
Where's Chisnall going to be?
Big dart that. Gather. Not a bad dart that if you get the next 60.
Yeah, it wasn't a disaster, was it, for Dave Chisnall? But it could be a disaster incoming. Just the wrong side of the wire. And now Chisnall has a chance to end that horror run. 3 years he's waited for this moment. Has it arrived?
It's in your own hands, Dave. 91. Not going to get there.
47.
And
68.
Van Gerwen needs 68 to take it to MVG'sville, which is last leg. Double top.
40.
Chisnall comes back for 63.
63.
Well, is he up to it? Michael Van Gerwen has offered a gift. Is it a parting gift from MVG at the German Darts Open? Dave Chisnall, who cannot seem to get the better of the green machine, has 2 darts at double 12.
39.
But neither have gone in.
20.
Dave.
That's not either. MVG thinks it's over now. And Chisnall cannot believe that we're not going into a 13th leg.
He's got to not think about it. Somehow he's got to not think about who he's playing, where he's playing, maybe even not what he's playing. And just chuck the dart in double 12, Chizzy.
Double 3. He needs the Ashdown.
Well, this happened in the last match. Ian White hit double top inadvertently and then laughed and then stepped forward, and Dave Chisnall did the same thing, had a very different outcome, and Michael Van Gerwen has got another chance against Chizzy that he should never ever have had. He wants double 2. He's in a last leg decider again. You all know the rest.
Now, it's all about the psychological part of the game now. Can Chizzy forget about what's just happened? Can he mount one more assault? Can he break 2 streaks? In order to do so, he's going to have to show us some real mental strength. If it's any consolation, Dave, that was out of treble 1.
Well, it's a good response from Dave Chisnall. He's not on the floor, but he might be in a moment because Van Gerwen's fired in. A 177.
Great darts. Van Gerwen in a much better position though. Magnified
100.
by what is a ton and a pinhead. How good is he at last leg? Thrillers. It's incredible, isn't it?
Well, it
Oh, just in case.
shouldn't really be in a last leg decider here, Michael Van Gerwen, but he's found himself in one, and he's going to try and make the most of it. Double 10. And MVG once again gets the job done in a deciding leg. Dave Chisnall will be wondering if he is ever going to beat the world #1, who finds it absolutely hilarious. He hasn't been a laughing matter for MVG in meetings against Ian White here in the last 2 years, and that is who he's going to play in the final. In around 15 minutes time, it's the #1 seed Michael Van Gerwen against the #2 seed Ian White. But Dave Chisnall, what have you done?
Das nächste unfassbare Match an diesem Sonntagabend. Michael van Gerwen zieht zum ersten Mal in das Finale der German Darts Open ein. Aber auch einen Riesenapplaus für Dave Chisnall. Mighty Mike sehen wir wieder im Finale gegen Ian White. Und jetzt wird's eine Pause geben von rund 15 Minuten, weil auch jetzt Michael van Gerwen sich auf das Finale nochmal einstellen darf und muss und soll. Und dann erleben wir das dritte Finale bei den German Darts Open hier in der Saarlandhalle. Jetzt mal ganz ehrlich, das ist, wenn ihr mich fragt, von der Qualität der Matches her das Beste, was wir in der Geschichte der European Tour hatten. Zumindest eine der besten Sessions. Ganz, ganz großer Sport.